Hello, it is me, the creator of Athletic League, a track and field game made to be as entertaining and amazing as possible. Today we are covering the basic controls of the game. As you may know, most track and field games are just button mashing, which really can get boring at times. So that's why here at Athletic League, I have created a very complex system with a bunch of unique controls on how to use the events. So let's go from point to point, which I've shown in this picture right here, on every single key in the game. Let's go. For the sprinting binds, the space bar is the sprint. Basically what you do is just mash it. I know it sounds a bit repetitive, but sprinting, there's really nothing you could do with sprinting mechanics. All you're going to have to do is basically just mash a button and you'll be able to run faster. So that's the key of it. You must mash the button. But obviously, if you mash the button too fast, you could lose your stamina more, which is why it's kind of hard to decide how fast you mash the sprint bar or the space bar. The next key we're going to go to is the I key, which is used for hurdle events. The I key is for jumping, so it's pretty straightforward. When you get to a hurdle while you're sprinting, just go to the I key real fast and then switch back to the space key. The next key is the K key, which is pretty important because the K key is basically kicking. It's used for the 400 and the 600 races. What kicking is basically, let's say your character is out of stamina and it's gonna die out. You by pressing the K button when your character is losing all of its stamina, you could just get a little 50% boost in stamina and you'll be able to kick and go even faster. And usually you use these towards the end of a race, and most kicks only last 100 meters in sprinting events, obviously. So the next key is the L key, which is used to lunge for all the sprinting events. Let's say you're head to head with this one guy during a sprinting event. You're pressing the space bar as fast as you can, as hard as you can. You're tiring yourself out. And the guy is right next to you. You just press the L key and you'll lunge, and maybe, just maybe, you'll beat him. So those are the sprinting keys. The space bar to sprint and to speed up. The I key to jump for hurdles. The K key to kick to get faster. And the L key to lunge when you're with someone or you want to just get a little faster boost. And the relay, when you're passing the baton, always just press the B key. If you do not press the B key, guess what? You drop the baton and you lose the race. And then we have the distance keys. These are very specific, and I'm going to have to cover this in... Actually, I'll just cover it right now. We're covering all the keys, so give me just a second. So, the distance keys are the most specific keys in the game, as if we just made it button mashing, it would really just be boring and long, and all of those sorts of things. So, we have this insanely complex system, really not that complex. As you can see on your keyboard, there's the space bar, and then there's 4 keys on both your right and left side. The right side is the one with the moving keys. I'll just get into that in a second. Okay, let's just go into it. So, WASD are the keys to move around. So when you're starting a race, you could press W, and obviously for races where you have turns, you are going to have to press the A button, because if you just keep pressing the W button, you're going to just run the wrong way, and you won't be able to go around the curve. You'll just go straight through it, which is not what you're supposed to do. In sprinting events, there's a contrast to this, because in sprinting events, no matter the space bar, you'll still turn around the curve in the track. You don't have to press the A key or the S key, So just to know that, WASD is also for moving around people, but it's mostly used for the curves. For the curves around this track, you have to move around the track. That's basically what the WASD keys are made for. Next is the I key. The I key is used to speed up. Now, the I key can only be used a couple times during a race or during a distance race. What the I key does for distance events is that it'll help you move up a spot. And it'll also give you a slight stamina boost. But the thing is, you can't just mash the I key a bunch of times because you only have a couple uses of the I key. If you use it too many times, then it just won't work anymore. And actually, if you go over the maximum requirement for I key presses, you'll actually lose stamina from it because you'll be wasting stamina. But in the early stages of just pressing the I key, it'll be good. You'll gain stamina. So just understand that. But yeah, the I key is supposed to be used for like moments where like there are a couple people around you, so just press it once and you'll get a little slight speed boost. So that's basically what the I key is used for. But the I key can be used for another thing, jumping in the steeplechase. Now to keep it as convenient as possible, when you jump with the I key, you won't be using your I key uses. So you could still use the I key to speed up. But you have infinite uses for jumping through a hurdle. That's basically it. Just press the I key when you're gonna jump over a hurdle or a water jump in a steeplechase race, and know that jumping over water jumps or hurdles won't actually affect the I key pressing requirements, and you won't nothing bad will happen. When you use the I key to jump over hurdles or water jumps in steeplechase events, you will still gain stamina. Just know that. Actually, no, you will lose stamina because you're jumping, obviously. So, the next key we're going to talk about is the L key. And that is a very important key because the L key can be used when and you're in a group of people. Let's say it's a tactical race and everyone's trying to conserve their stamina. The L key can be used to straight up just move places immediately. And you could use these maybe a total of 5 to 10 times. But basically, what this does is it allows you to shove people over so you could move a spot. Or let's say you're on the outside and you want to go in the inside of where the main group is. You're going to have to press the L key and you'll be able to move on the inside. Now, there is a 25% chance that you could actually get tripped, or you could trip someone that you're trying to move around. So if it's just a 25% chance that you trip. And that could lose you stamina. Yeah. That could lose you stamina. And we'll get into stamina consumption and what does what in the next video. But for now, let's continue talking about the L key. But in summary, the L key is basically just to move up places. It's not as prominent as the I key. As the I key can make you move multiple places. But the L key can just make you just move around people. Because, damn it, that's part of stamina consumption too. I'll get into stuff like moving on the outside can actually make you lose stamina. So I'll get into that later. And the last key is the kick key. Now for distance events, the kick key can the K key can actually, instead of it being 100 meters long, it could be up to 400 meters. So it could be a 400 to 600 meter kick. And this also gives you a 50% stamina boost, which means that you'll gain most of your stamina and be able to kick. So it basically works the same way as the sprinting kick key or K key. Now let's go into the field events. Field events are pretty straightforward. The WASD is for hammer throw. So what you're basically going to do is you're going to just mash WASD a bunch of times to spin the hammer. And spinning the hammer just makes it go faster and faster the faster you press WASD. And when you let go, that's what determines how far it goes. The L key is used for timing your steps and is used for the javelin, triple jump, and high jump. Now, when you're doing a jumping event, you're obviously going to do the first couple jumps before you actually do the jump. So there'll be timing sections where you have to time your jump, and if you don't time your jump, then you lose. or you get disqualified. And the last key is, the space bar. The space bar is used for jumping. So once you get once you time your steps, it's what's used for jumping or throwing. Just so you know that. And then we have the last key, which is the J key. The J key is more of like an optional thing you want to do. What it basically does is it allows you to just look back at other people. So like if you don't know how many people are behind you, if there's like a large gap and you don't know how big the gap is, just press J, and the camera will just move behind you, and you'll be able to check how many players are behind you. Basically, that's all. So, let me just go over all of these keys because it is kind of confusing. But for the distance keys, WASD, to move around curves and just move. Wait. The I key is used for both jumping and speeding up during a race. And the L key is used for shoving or pushing players around so you can move spots. And then, that's basically it. I think I got the field events pretty well explained. So, that's all the binds. There may be changes in the future because about that I key and the W key, WASD keys for the distance events, that's probably going to be a problem because how the hell are you going to be? So you're going to be moving with A, you'll be mashing A to get faster, and then you'll mash the W while you're turning around curves. So you'll be mashing W while you're already doing all the other things with your other hand, like shoving or like speeding up. So maybe I'll change this mechanic in the future just to make it more player friendly and not as complicated. But that's basically the gist of things. On the next video, I'll talk about stamina consumption. And I'll see you later.